Hey guys, it's Will. So one of the top things that happens when I'm working with investors is that they don't have a strategy to add to their portfolio on the dips. They might have a lot of cash, they might have a lot of capital, but they don't know what to do. Do they just buy more stocks when stocks go down? Do they just continue to hold if they didn't get out at a good time or trim their position when they were up big time? Now is the best time to start to, build that portfolio. And I was just talking with my mom actually, and she is someone that I've helped grow her portfolio by over 10% per year. We'll do a video at some point. Well over 10%. In fact, she had over like 5 positions here that have over 100% returns. Um, and she's had multiple positions over 50% returns. She got in early on quantum, on AI, on data centers, all that stuff. And so what I'm going to show you today is, she also has an active income. She's a director at a college where she works, and she basically has to pay out herself into her portfolio. Now the problem is a lot of people when they pay themselves out, they might do buying a stock, but they do an auto like this. They do an auto pay or deposit into their stock portfolio, so into their portfolio. But the problem is when they get into their portfolio, then from their portfolio, now they're like splitting into, different stocks. They might have Tesla, they might have over here like, I don't know, Palantir or something, which we're also reducing her position. She like super crushed it with Palantir. And now, it's still overvalued. And when the market pulls back and things get reevaluated and AI starts to literally dissolve some companies because of how it's effective, you have to account for that and price in companies a little bit differently. But that's for another video. But the key here is like, if you're trying to, let's say, go into multiple stocks and you're like sending it into multiple stocks, a lot of times what happens is first you get it into your portfolio, and let's just say you have like, let's say you add $1,000 or more monthly. Like that's what I recommend. For example, for my mom, it's like, yeah, if when she just opened her Robinhood account, she's grown it and she's up around 30K to 40K or something like that. And for her it's kind of like a game, and she's like building it, but she wants to, let's see if we can get to 100K, right? Scale her up and then snowball the 100K to a million, basically. And she has other money saved and things like that, so it's more of like a experiment for her, and it's going really well so far. But in order for her to get to like 100K faster, she's also going to want to add to positions, when the dips happen, because like you could be buying, but the dollar cost averaging is one thing, but also like taking advantage of when the stocks go down. So let's say you have like multiple stocks, and so the problem is people get $1,000 here and then they like manually, and they're like kind of just buying stocks. They're just kind of randomly adding to their position, to different positions with that $1,000. They kind of put it in their portfolio. Now the next step, if you're above this step, you might set up recurring payments automatically, where you're like doing, I don't know, $100 here, $100 here, $100 here or something, and you've gone in individually on the stocks, and then you've added like an auto buy for each stock to buy a certain amount every day. Now this is a really good strategy. When I was first trying to crack 100K, one of the strategies I used to do was just buy $20 a day of Nvidia. Now we used to do this back in 2020. I'll include a screenshot right here so you can see what that looks like. And basically, when adding, when adding in $20 a day, you're just adding in on the dips and you're anticipating a gain. So this works. Now when you're allocating, now one thing to consider is, market direction and allocating into each one of these properly, because you could just go, 10, just 10% into 10 stocks every time and just build all of them, and that can work. But ideally, each one of these stocks kind of has a story. Each company has a development. Some are maybe overvalued right now. Some are undervalued right now. And so if you do just the recurring buy, you can get good results. It's like a dollar cost average. You're just buying all of them. but ideally you're also adjusting your allocation to be heavier or on certain companies. So this is basically this is called what I like to call a specified DCA allocation. And so basically what this is, it's variable. Okay, so some people will just buy a stock blindly, or they'll just buy the stocks ups, downs, everything else, and that will work through volatility. But why do some investors have way better results dollar cost averaging than others? Is because of the volatility, and they're buying on the dips. So if you could think about it, like if you could maximize the amount that you allocate when the stocks are down and into the companies that are the most oversold, then you're going to maximize your long-term growth of your portfolio. So, one way that we do this, and I was just working with a client to completely rebalance their portfolio. And one of the things that we would do is we'd essentially kind of run an analysis on every single stock and say, like, is this overbought or is this undervalued? What have my returns been up to this point? The same way that you would think for, let's say you have a position that's up 500%, you're really happy with it, you know it's overvalued now, and you might trim it, is the same way you would look for companies to buy in on the dips. So basically what this means is you're going to dollar cost average, meaning like a monthly or weekly or daily allocation. It's like an auto buy. This is for the longer term, like growth into auto buy. Essentially what you're doing is, rather than just dollar cost averaging, you're going to, let's say that rather than, let's take this same example here with the portfolio with all these different stocks. You have like, 5 different stocks, let's say, and you're going to like bring in $1,000, let's say, or in this case, let's say $400. So it's like just a simple allocation map. Now you could go 100 into each, but ideally you're assessing and not just going in, and you're actually looking at some things to determine if they're trim / slight, which would mean that they're at a high and they're already returned very well and you might want to take a break, versus buy / build your average, which means the company is more like oversold and in a better spot to buy. Okay, so an example of this would be, so trim slight would be like PE ratio, the price to earnings, like equals very high at this moment potentially. Like you've ridden them up, they're already a little bit high. You want to allocate into them, or you've even started allocating them, but the PE ratio is high. Okay, and then, or maybe the moat, or the market competition is high. So a company, like, let's say you were up on, and also you're probably up on this position, and so basically let's say a market competition would be like Adobe, for example, getting kind of, right now their financials are fine, they look good, but they're getting destroyed because people are now photoshopping using ChatGPT and Gemini. And so you're no longer using the like super manual Photoshop. You're just telling ChatGPT or what have you to do it, and then it's doing for you. So that company, like, they actually should be priced down or a little bit more cautious, because they're getting a mad like new disruption into their market. So you can kind of identify those things. That's like a little bit more opinionated, and opinions are super cheap and you'll hear them from everybody. So you have to be a little more factual. And like, if you can get some hard facts, like I was reading about millions of people that were using ChatGPT for the actual, like Photoshop versus using Adobe, like more people are actually, so if you get some like hard facts around it, it's going to be really good. That will help you with the like market comp. But anything in this range, like there could be other variables, like it's overbought on the like RSI and MACD, so it might be overbought. There's going to be a lot of things. Obviously, it might be that they're just like bad earnings recently, or or the market, the general market is like, that's another one, just like general market is affected, you're basically looking to have less DCA, less auto buys. Okay. Less auto buys. Very important to realize, like, the reason that you'd want to do this is because you're essentially, it's not that you want to sell these positions. Maybe you trim them a little bit. Ultimately, the reason that this is so powerful is because you're going to want to automate or allocate less when they're not as favorable. Then over here, so that's going to be like auto buys are going to be like less. Okay. Now, the buy slash build scenarios would mean that so an example of this would be like, rather than doing 100, or let's say whatever it is, you're going to allocate less. So you're going to do like 20 into Tesla because they're overbought, or Palantir's recently overbought, their PE ratio is really high. So you do 20 rather than 100. But then let's say like you have over here, like PE is like, it's low. They have good markets. They have like a moat slash, like they might have a moat, and they are like market driven. Like they're really getting driven by the market over here. That's going to be good. And then you might have, you're down on the position. You're down on the position. So you might actually see it as more of a buying opportunity. And then they've had good earnings. So they have good financials, but they haven't recovered yet, or they're not really up even though they've had good financials. They're maybe out of support. And that general market might be really good. Okay. So you have those things. And so then you're going to want to DCA. This is where you do a greater DCA. This is where your auto buys that you want to set and adjust on your stocks are going to be more. Okay, more. So this essentially, like, imagine what I want you to imagine. So now this would be like, now rather than just $100 over here, you're doing like 160. Okay, and then over here you're doing, 200, or let's just call it, like 200 over on NBIS or something like that, because you're seeing like that market, the data center market, doing really good. So when you do this and you do it the way that I'm mapping it out, you adjust your DCAs across the hottest companies you're in, but doing it in a way that accounts for where they're currently at in their story. You're issuing a strategy that's going to maximize the gains and play according to where the companies are at in the story that's playing out for them. And so super powerful, super easy to mess up, because some people, like, they buy when their stocks, the opposite of what investors do. This is what most investors do, and this is why they fail, is they're actually looking at the PE ratio or the stocks that are winning for them the most. They're buying more of those, or they're overbought and they haven't had they've had bad earnings. And so they're like, oh, let me buy more because like they're going to get better. Or the general market, there is, let's say it's like way up at that time for that general market, and they're just getting FOMO and they're saying, I don't want to miss, it's going to continue, and they buy more. And so really, like, the opposite is what people do a lot of times, is they dollar cost average heavy into the companies that are already overbought, when they should dollar cost average into like the other companies that are have the good things going for them, but they're just in a better buying position. Okay. So then the next allocation, and this is really just tying it all together and making it super easy for you as an investor, if you're looking at the auto buys and everything else, is essentially realizing that the allocation, and this is something I work with investors on all the time in their portfolios. And if you want to optimize this, have me come into your portfolio and help you decide on some of these things for your allocation, then once again, I would just take a look at the first link below. You could just schedule a call with me or one of my client success people to make sure that we get things on the right track for you. So basically, just to go over like what this would look like, imagine you have a stock and it's going like this, okay? It's going like this. And then you also have a stock that's kind of like that. If you're investing, and this is a lot of times what happens, is people they DCA the same. Now it's already proven that the person that DCAs on this will be way richer than the person that DCAs on more of the flat line, because the flat line, the price is basically out where it was. Whereas if the stock were to go here back up, they have a ton of their allocation, kind of in the middle here, which creates more, gains here, and they have basically more gains because of the volatility. Now, and so basically by deploying this strategy, you're essentially looking to, allocate and buy slightly smarter and heavier. So it's not just a line that's in the middle of the volatility, but slightly more accurate buys in this area, so that rather than having like this small margin, you basically increase the amount of margin because your dollar is like just way better entries, and you just have way more capital that you built up because your entry is lower. Whereas some people, like if they're trading stocks that are in markets and they like give up, they're like, I'm just going to do like the S&P 500 or something where it's like pretty flat. It's like, yeah, it's going to be pretty flat, and your average, cost, it's going to like slowly build, and it can like increase, but it's going to be way smaller here than if you were playing volatile game, but of like a very massively growing market, and then just increasing the margin that you have on the buying. So like dollar cost averaging, it's basically the same. We're just optimizing. So also, rather than like, how do you also make sure you get this low cost, is that the company or the buys, you want to limit the buys and actually even sell a little bit and limit the buys up here. So when you're up here, you might even like lower your DCA and increase your DCA when it's down here. And it rather than being like mid, it's going to drop, and you might even have like 30 to 50% more returns than other people without changing your initial position too much. Like maybe you sell at the tops sometimes here and trim a little bit. That's what I do. But for the most part, like just by changing your allocation, not even your selling, but just changing your allocation to be a little bit lighter when stocks are up here, and then a little bit heavier when you see them down here, will basically just increase your value of your portfolio so much greater in your gains over time when you compare it back to what you're seeing in your portfolio. So, hopefully this is helpful for you. Hopefully you get some value out of this. This is exactly how I've helped investors scale and get the gains that take them from like 50,000 to 250,000 or 500,000 or a million plus. We have multiple clients that are doing over $1 million now. And if that's you and you're trying to snowball those things, once again, the same things that get you to 100K are not always going to be the same things that, like, this will help you get to a certain point, but there's a lot of things that you want to know, like actually how to automate this process. How do you actually make it to where you can know better about where the entries are and the exits are? And if that's you want to get your hands on that, I would encourage you guys, take a look at our entries and exits. We have our live tradings every morning at Market Open. It's the second link below. And then if you want to schedule a call with me or my team to help us have a more clear picture of your portfolio, go inside your portfolio and help you, then once again, it's going to be the first link in the description below. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Thanks so much for watching. If I earned your thumbs up, hit the like button. Do consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.